Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Well, there's something that I've been debating whether I would talk about it or not with you, and I've decided I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about it. As many of you have been following for a while know, my husband, who had lived in Alaska while I live in Oregon, passed away a little over 4 months ago. We were still very close, even though we didn't live together. And that's been a hard jolt for me. And I've just had some other stresses in my life that I'm been having a hard time coping with. You know, I talked about being depressed before. One thing I haven't talked about is I'm having memory issues. Now, those could be because I have PST, and you know, like if I get scared, and I can get scared for no reason. I mean, it'll feel like a reason to me, but I can get scared, or I can just get upset, and that will trigger, and then my memory is worse. Or if I get too tired, or if I get too involved in wanting to help somebody else because I'll get feeling their pain. All of those things trigger a much worse reaction in me. And I had a couple things in the last 2 weeks happen that were scary. So in the wintertime, there's not so much for me to do outside because I get cold and not as motivated to get outside. So I decided to join the YMCA and go to a water wellness class. And I went 1 week, which is 3 days, and I'm happy about that. But on the first day, when I got out of it, I felt happy and stuff. I got into the women's locker room, which they have remodeled since I was a member years ago. But I was a member for a lot of years. And after I got changed and stuff, I could not find my way out of the locker room at all. I had to go ask somebody, who then took me by the arm and gently showed me the way out. That was upsetting. And then this last week, another scary thing happened. The fire had went almost out in the house. It was cold. And I do not like the fire to go all the way out because then I have to use up kindling. And that's silly, but I'm not usually the one that cuts it, although I do cut my fair share of kindling. It just seems like a waste to me. So I went outside and got a bunch of small pieces of wood and got that fire kindling up again. And I meant to go out and get a little bigger pieces. And so I left the flue open of my wood stove and the door slightly ajar. But instead of going outside to get that wood, I went out the front door. I packed out animal bread for my chickens and enjoyed throwing that to them. I had to walk around to the back of the house. I came around again and I grabbed a sack of feed from the front and packed that around to them. That takes me a few minutes because I have to stop a few times because it's a 50-pound sack and that's a lot of weight for me. I can do it, you know, once I level it on my shoulder right. But, you know, I just turned 68 today and it's a lot of weight for me. So I threw that out to them, filled up their hopper and came back into the house through the front because it's less muddy that way. And when I got in, it smelled hot in the house from the stovepipe. And there were 3 very large, like this, hot spots where I had a flue fire going. And those are easy to put out. They sound a lot more scary than they are. So I dashed over, got that door shut, turned the flue shut, and it just instantly began, those red spots began to go back to a normal color. I waited about 5 minutes and I opened up the flue again so I could throw in a piece of regular wood before everything else burned up. And just almost instantly, one of those spots, big spots, turned cherry red again. And then out of the back of the stovepipe, I had some, a little bit of creosote burning. So I knocked that down, got everything closed down, and it was fine. But that's dangerous. And it could be, like I think I told you, just my PTS, which has been triggering a lot lately. Or it could be something else, I don't know. My doctor's concerned, going to run some tests. And I may need to make some big decisions. I'll talk to you about some of those possibilities, but I appreciate your prayers on decisions that would be best for myself and for Jason. I'm thinking this may not be a sustainable place for us to live. We're a long way from the rest of our family. And I mean, I do have a brother that is, 30 miles, well, almost 50 miles away. But he's gone a lot and, has his own life. And both of my younger sons think it might be good for Jason and I to think about moving towards Alaska. I've thought about it. In fact, I've been thinking about moving for a few years now, for different reasons. And I'm not sure if this is the right time to think about it or not. It would be a lot of work just getting the place ready to sell. This would be a fabulous home for someone who wanted their own little homestead. And if we got to start all over, it might be really fun to develop our own place again. Although certainly I would like a place that had some infrastructure for homesteading in. Anyhow, I just kind of wanted to do a little update, let you know why I really haven't been posting much. And I appreciate your prayers. And if you have thoughts on maybe a good area to think about moving, or just any wisdom, I would appreciate it. So we're going to be okay. And I want to thank you for following me. This is Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours in your house, out of your house, in the day and in the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming. Good night and God bless you.